Hi, I'm Athena, 18, just a Seattle girl who's all about chasing stars. Not drama, but, like, when life throws you a shady CEO and a backstabbing crush, you gotta fight, right? Here's the tea. Sometimes, the guy you hate is the one you'll love. Want to know how I went from tossing water balloons to falling for a billionaire? Hit that play button. And let's dive into my wild story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more crazy vibes. Let's get this to the moon. Water balloons exploded against the construction crew's hard hats, splashing like a summer blockbuster as I stood on a crate outside Grandpa's Space Museum near Pike Place Market. Megaphone screaming, "Keep our stars alive." My heart pounded, sweat soaking my hoodie, as Eliza and Axel lobbed more balloons, the workers slipping on the wet pavement like a bad sitcom. Locals went wild, live streaming the chaos on Instagram with hashtag #SaveOurStars. And I was hyped but freaking out. What if this hit my school's group chat and Mr. Jenkins, my bio teacher, chewed me out? The museum, with its creaky Mars rover and ancient telescope, was my sanctuary, where Grandpa and I mapped constellations over root beer floats, Modest Mouse humming on his old radio. No way was I letting some hotshot CEO bulldoze it for a casino. In Seattle, we're about indie coffee and flannel, not Vegas vibes. Eliza, my latte art queen bestie, yelled, "Get him!" while Axel, our sci-fi cosplay nerd, waved his R2-D2 prop. Joking. I should have brought my drone to film this. We'd planned this protest like a heist on Notion. But I didn't expect it to blow up. Then I yeeted a balloon and splat it, drenched a guy stepping out of a matte Tesla. Oh, no. He looked like he'd walked off a Hollywood set. All chiseled jaw and piercing eyes. His tailored blazer now a wet mess. The crowd hushed as he wiped his face, slow and dramatic, then locked eyes with me. "You," he said, voice smooth as a Starbucks latte. "Just picked the wrong guy." My megaphone slipped. And I thought, I'm so done. I jumped off the crate, ignoring Eliza's frantic tug on my denim jacket. "This museum's my home," I snapped, heart racing. "Want your tacky casino over my sparkly Vans?" The crowd roared. But his grin didn't budge. "Gutsy," he said, brushing back damp hair. "Meet me at my office tomorrow, or this place is dust by Monday." My stomach lurched. Was he bluffing, suing me? I'm just a senior who tanked bio, but his stare, all swagger and annoying hotness, screamed he meant it. The workers split, and my crew freaked. "That's Ethan Ward," Axel hissed, waving his prop. His family owns half the docks. Eliza, slurping boba, teased, "Girl, you're Insta-famous now, don't spill that tea." I rolled my eyes, but my gut churned. What if Becky from class saw the live stream and spread it? I had to go. Grandpa's dream was on the line. That night, I couldn't sound sleep. Doom scrolling Ethan's Instagram. His feed was ski trips, yacht selfies, and suits that cost more than my car. Captioned, "Grind never stops. Gag." But Grandpa had emailed Ethan about a community grant last month, and I found out later he'd studied my pitch in the museum's file. Guess I wasn't just a random balloon thrower to him. I wasn't scared, okay? Maybe a smidge. Next morning, I threw on my fave jacket, grabbed a boba for courage, and hit Ethan's downtown office. A glass tower yelling, "I'm rich." My heart hammered as I rode the elevator, muttering, "Don't wreck my dreams, you corporate jerk." In his office, Ethan leaned against his desk, sipping a latte, way too chill. "So," he said, tossing me a contract, "you're my space consultant. Your Insta stunt's a PR disaster, fix it. And maybe your museum stays." My brain froze. Consultant. Me, I scanned the contract. Then yikes knocked my boba over. Tea splattering his desk. "Crap," I yelped, grabbing napkins. Ethan laughed. "Helping clean. Sign. Klutz." I glared but signed, thinking I'd outsmart him. The museum was at stake, and I wasn't letting some suit win, even if he'd read my grant pitch and knew my name. As I left, my phone buzzed a text from an unknown number. "Ethan's got secrets. Watch out." My blood chilled. Who was this? Was Ethan playing me, or was someone else pulling strings? I shoved my phone in my pocket, heart pounding, knowing I'd just jumped into a game way bigger than my balloon fight, with the museum and maybe more on the line. Receipts spilled across my desk like a paper avalanche. Ethan's latest torture in this space consultant gig, that's more like glorified coffee runs. His sleek office hummed, Puget Sound glinting outside, as I sorted through his mess, muttering curses while he lounged, flipping a pen like a wannabe rock star. Faster, he grinned. Investors don't vibe with slow. I wanted to yeet the receipts at his striking cheekbones, but I was stuck. The museum's fate dangling. To get even, I misplaced his VIP meeting invite. Sending him to a storage closet instead, he stormed back, eyes blazing. Clever, he said, leaning so close his cedar cologne hit me. Play dirty, and your museum's toast. My pulse spiked, but I shot back. Then quit treating me like your barista, Mr. Fancy Pants. He laughed, and for a split second, I thought he wasn't pure evil. Then he dumped another box of files. By dawn, chaos flipped when I ran into Nate, Ethan's 18-year-old brother, at the office coffee bar. Nate was all messy curls, paint-splashed Nikes, and this artsy glow like he'd rather be jamming at a dive bar. He saw me drowning in files and slid over a chai latte. Ethan's a total tool, he said, flashing a grin. He's mad. Mom gave me her art studio, I snorted, spilling chai on my hoodie, and Nate doodled a comment on a napkin. That's you, bold, unstoppable. My heart did a little dance, but I worried Becky from class would spill. I'm crushing if Eliza blabbed. We started chilling, grabbing tacos by Pike Place, swapping dreams. I told him how my Galaxy Pix block out moms get a real job rants. He spilled about wanting his paintings in MoMA. But Ethan's shadow looms. One day, he handed me a nebula canvas for my desk, and I was blushing, scared Eliza'd tease me into next week. But when I showed it to Ethan, he knocked it off, swearing it was an accident. Nate's trouble, he said, eyes tense. He's conned pals sold fake art for show cash. I grabbed the smudged canvas, fuming. What's your deal? Ethan shrugged, jaw fixed, don't get burned. I bailed, texting Nate to meet at the waterfront. He was bummed, saying Ethan's hated him since Mom hyped his art over Ethan's deals. He can't stand me winning, Nate said, skipping rocks. I felt for him, but Ethan's warning stuck. Was Nate playing me that night? I found snickerdoodles on my desk, warm, with a note, don't starve, klutz. Ethan baked, no way. I munched one, dropping crumbs on his desk, oops, and cranked Phoebe Bridgers on Spotify to focus. Nate texted museum tomorrow. Got a plan to save it. I was pumped. But that anonymous texter pinged Nate's lying. My gut churned. So I tailed him to the museum, slipping in after closing, assuming he thought it was safe. Hiding behind the moon model, I overheard him whispering to a guy in a cap about torching the museum to break Ethan. My heart stopped. Nate was a traitor. He paused, scanning the dark, muttering, "Someone's here." I ducked, my phone slipping, and froze as he stepped closer, his flashlight grazing the model. My breath caught, palms sweaty, until he turned away. I bolted, van squeaking, and raced to Ethan's office, ready to call him out. He was on a call, laughing about a Seattle game changer, casino or worse. My phone buzzed another anonymous text. Nate's emails. Studio, go. My hands shook. Someone was watching, and I was trapped in a game with the museum and my heart hanging by a thread, all while worrying Becky'd spread my crush drama at school. Nate's plan to burn the museum was a gut punch, stuck in my head like a Spotify earworm. I needed proof. But Ethan was driving me nuts, flipping between snapping at me to rewrite pitches at midnight and leaving a Starbucks cup on my desk, scribbled with, "Don't flop, dork." Dude, make up your mind. I was glued to my phone, praying that anonymous texter would drop another clue. But nada. Nate kept texting, all coffee at Monorail Espresso like he wasn't plotting arson. I faked it, meeting him at Fremont's rocket statue, forcing smiles while my brain screamed. Traitor. He sketched a supernova on a napkin, grinning. That's you. Athena untouchable. I nodded, eyeing his backpack, betting his laptop held the truth. But I was freaking about Eliza's friends roasting me as Nate's girl or the Daily, our school paper, sniffing this out. I had to snoop. But how things blew up when Nate invited me to his gallery's open mic night, I was hyped for a break. So I threw on a thrifted velvet skirt and my go-to choker, feeling like I could rock a magazine shoot. But as I braided my hair, Ethan texted, emergency, office, now, at 11 p.m. I groaned, texting Eliza, if I lose it, hide me. I hit his office, and Ethan was pacing, tie loose, looking like a stressed-out heartthrob. Fix this slide deck, he barked, tossing me a USB. Pitches tomorrow. I was annoyed, but as I worked, I caught him staring, eyes warm, like he saw me for real. My stomach flipped. I'd been noticing him too, like when he left that coffee, and it scared me. I missed Nate's event, and he was livid. Texting, Ethan's got you leashed. Ouch. I went to the gallery to apologize, but Nate was outside, eyes stormy. Before I could speak, he leaned in, trying to kiss me. Right there with baristas and joggers gawking, I shoved him back, yelling, "Are you nuts?" Nate smirked, glancing at Ethan's Tesla across the street. Just rattling my brother, my face burned. I was a pawn. I turned, and Ethan stepped out, his gaze locked on me, looking gutted, like I'd broken him. My heart twisted. Why did I care? I was terrified Eliza'd spill this, and I'd be the school's drama queen. Ethan sped off, and I was reeling. That night, I slipped into Nate's gallery during the open mic, using Google Keep to track my plan. I dodged a security guard humming some indie tune, heart pounding, and found Nate's laptop in the studio. My hands shook as I booted it, trying Comet MoMA from his MoMA dream, nope. Then Supernova 22 from his napkin sketch. Yes, I found a payback folder. Emails to a contractor about torching Ethan's office to kill the casino. My blood froze. Nate was unhinged. I snapped pics, but accidentally hit a mic stand. The feedback screeching. I froze, praying no one heard. Then the fire alarm blared, smoke seeping in. Panic hit. I dropped my phone, scrambling to grab it, tripping over a trash can. Classic me, flames flared, and I crawled to the exit, choking, thinking I'd never see Ethan again, his coffee cup flashing in my mind. Then Ethan grabbed me, jacket charred, face smudged. Go, he shouted, hauling me through the smoke. He'd tailed Nate, suspecting trouble. We stumbled into the rainy Seattle night, coughing, collapsing on the curb. Sirens wailed, firefighters swarmed. I looked at Ethan, arm gashed, and blurted, "Why save me?" He stared, rain dripping, "Because you're everything." My heart lurched. Was he for real? He limped to an ambulance, leaving me soaked. My phone buzzing, "You're welcome." No one was there. The fire, Nate's emails, Ethan's words, it was too much. I clutched my phone, pics my only shot, stressing about college apps and the daily making me a headline, knowing I had to stop Nate before he burned my world. Rain hammered my hoodie, soaking me as I crouched under a streetlight, still wheezing from the fire. Ethan's "you're everything" looped in my head, twisting my heart. My phone held Nate's email pics, proof he planned to torch Ethan's office, but I needed more to stop him. I sent them to Eliza via Signal. Texting, "Stash these." "Nate's a psycho," she fired back. "You're a beast." I glanced at Ethan, arm bandaged by a paramedic, face pale but still unfairly hot. I wanted to demand answers, but my legs were jelly. Grandpa called, voice cracking. "You're okay," saw the fire on the Seattle Times app. I choked back tears, saying I'm fine, skipping the part where I nearly got roasted. "Come home," he said. But Nate was loose, maybe eyeing the museum, and I was stressing about kids at school calling me vigilante girl or QO running a podcast on this. I slogged to Ethan, dodging puddles. "Talk," I said, firm. He nodded, waving off the paramedic, and we slid into his Tesla, leather reeking of money. "Why save me?" "What's Nate's game?" I asked, arms crossed. Ethan rubbed his temple. "Nate's hated me since Mom praised his art over my deals. I didn't know he'd go full arson." Then he dropped it. "I've been funding the museum. The casino was a PR fake-out. I didn't tell you because I thought you'd see me as just a suit." My jaw hit the floor. "Funding? Why?" He looked away, soft. "You're real. I wanted your trust, not your doubt. Trust." My heart was cartwheeling, but I wasn't sold. "Who's texting me?" I showed the anonymous messages. His eyes widened. "I sent the first about Nate, but someone's hacked my old number." My head spun. Someone else was pulling strings. I remembered Nate's emails mentioned a cloud backup. Encrypted. I told Ethan, expecting a laugh, but he said, "We'll crack it. Together. Together." With Ethan Ward, I was losing it. We hit my place, where I grabbed my laptop and hot Cheetos for nerve. Axel, our cosplay tech whiz, zoomed in, his Star Wars script grinding for hours to decode Nate's cloud. Finally, Nebula MoMA 22. Nate's gallery dream unlocked it. I found an encrypted email. Sent today. Hiring a guy to wreck the museum tonight. My stomach sank. Nate was after Grandpa's dream. I showed Ethan, and his face hardened. We stop him. But I've got a London board meeting tomorrow. My company's on the ropes. London, my chest tightened. But we sped to the museum, rain blurring the windshield. My pulse like a rave drop. It was dark, but a glow flickered inside. Ethan grabbed a flashlight, and we crept in. My sneakers silent. Gasoline stank up the air. Nate was there, splashing a can by the telescope. "Nate, stop!" I yelled. He spun, eyes feral. "You with him, Ethan steals everything, my art, my life. This museum's his weakness." Ethan stepped up, calm. "This isn't about me. Drop it." Nate pulled a lighter, smirking. I grabbed a fire extinguisher, spraying foam, but yikes blasted Ethan's face. Seriously, he sputtered, wiping foam, and I cringed. Nate bolted, but I chucked a Star Globe model, tripping him. Ethan, who kickboxes at some bougie gym, pinned him. I called 911 and cops swarmed, cuffing Nate as he screamed Ethan's name, causing a scene. I slumped against the Mars rover, drained, stressing about college apps and being the school's vigilante. Ethan sat beside me, hand brushing mine. "You okay?" he asked, voice warm. I nodded, but my heart raced for him. He stood, wincing. "I'm out tomorrow. Stay safe." My chest ached. Was this it? As he left, my phone pinged another text. "Donor list, check." I sprinted to Grandpa's office, pulling records. There was Ethan Ward, $500 thousand anonymous. He'd been saving the museum since before I soaked him. I sank into a chair, heart pounding, realizing I'd been so wrong, and now he was leaving, with my dreams and maybe my heart on the line. Ethan's name on the donor list, 500,000 anonymous, hit like a meteor, burning through my chest as I slumped in Grandpa's office. He'd been saving the museum since before I knew him, and I'd been roasting him like a marshmallow. My heart was a roller coaster, caught between shock and this warm, giddy rush I couldn't ignore. His "stay safe" echoed, stuck like a Mitski lyric, and I kept seeing him in the fire, arm slashed, calling me everything. I was a wreck, munching hot Cheetos at 5 a.m., scrolling Insta for calm. But even kitten reels couldn't stop my brain screaming. "Go get him." Grandpa found me in the kitchen. Cheeto dust everywhere. "You chase stars," he said, sliding a plane ticket over. "Don't stop." My jaw dropped. "A London ticket. Booked weeks ago." "You're a psychic," I squeaked. He chuckled, eyes twinkling. "Just know you." I hugged him, nearly toppling his coffee, and raced to pack, tossing hoodies and my camera into a backpack. At SeaTac, I was a nervous disaster. Vans squeaking through security, Eliza texting, Slay that confess I was freaking about jet lag, Becky spreading gossip at school, and being that confess girl if I crashed and burned. The flight was a blur, me stressing about Ethan shutting me down, scribbling speeches, then trashing them, terrified he was already with some London influencer. Landing at Heathrow, my stomach was a knot. I'd found Ethan's summit via his assistant's Insta post and DM'd her friend, an intern, begging for a way in, promising galaxy pics. She agreed, and I hopped the tube, my reflection a mess in a denim jacket and loose braid. The summit was packed tech suits yapping about blockchain. The intern slipped me a guest badge, and I sneaked in, palms sweaty. Ethan was on stage, mid-speech, looking like he owned the sky in a tailored blazer. Our eyes locked, and he tripped a word, just a beat. My heart was exploding, but Eliza's "don't bail" pushed me. I shoved through the crowd, climbed a table, nearly wiping out Total Me move, and yelled, "Ethan Ward, hold up." The room froze, 500 suits staring like I was unhinged. Ethan squinted, then grinned. "Hopping off." "You," he said, voice soft. I was trembling. Scared he'd laugh. Scared I'd be the school's confess girl. But I went for it. You're an arrogant, infuriating suit. But you saved my world. And I love you, the crowd gasped. Phones up, filming like it's Coachella. Ethan laughed, sprinting to me, grabbing my hands. You're a hurricane, he said, eyes gleaming. And I love you too. He kissed me, and the room erupted, cheering like a blockbuster premiere. I was floating, face burning. But a voice cut in Nice's show. Nate's lawyer, in a cheap suit, held an envelope. My gut twisted, and I braced. Loathed the crowd's whispers hitting Insta. Nate's in custody, he said, handing it over. He wanted this delivered. It was a $200 or $1,000 check, funded by Nate's mom after his gallery sale, and a note I screwed up. For the museum. Sorry, I was livid. But a sliver of me hoped he'd change maybe one day. Not now. I looked at Ethan, who shrugged. Mom's fixing his mess. He's got court. I gripped the check enough for a planetarium. No postcard, I muttered, but nodded. The lawyer left, and Ethan pulled me close, whispering, "You're mine." Klutz. We ditched the summit, landing in a London park, sprawled on the grass, staring at the stars. I ordered chips, meaning fries, and the waiter blinked, American fail. I snapped a galaxy pic, Ethan's arm around me, feeling like I'd caught my star. Even if I dreaded school gossip and balancing love with college apps. Wow, guys, thanks for sticking with my crazy ride. This whole drama taught me that love and dreams are worth fighting for, even when it's messy. Big shout out to y'all for watching. Your support means the world. What's the wildest thing you've done for love or a dream? Drop it in the comments, and let's chat. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that sub button for more stories. Catch you in the next one. Stay starry, fam.